Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, it's back into Decisive Campaigns Ardennes Offensive. This is our Let's Play tutorial. I believe this is episode number 4 as we move along here in the game, and we're almost done with our first turn. Now, there's been a lot of explaining going on, and we've been talking about different concepts and different mechanics of the game as we move forward here. There will be more playing, less talking. Well, there might not be less talking. You guys know me better than that by now. But we're almost to the end of this, or end of this first turn. I'm going to play this whole scenario out, and if somebody wants to watch it, that's great. We need to go around and check and make sure we've moved everything we want to move. Make sure that there's, no cards we want to play and whatnot. Now, I will say, just as a general reaction so far, I could not wait to make this episode. I was really looking forward to playing the game again. Well, that's always a very good sign, and these are well designed games. I think they're a lot of fun. I know there's been some complaint about the graphics a little bit, as there always are with the games from VR Designs. I actually think the map is quite beautiful. The only thing that I've complained about a little bit is the elevations, but now that I'm getting used to the map, it kind of jumps out at me. But I will say, when I first started playing here, the elevations maybe are a little, they're not as stark maybe as they could be. But other than that, I mean, I'm really enjoying myself playing this game. So let's jump into it and see where we are. Now, we've pretty much moved everything, but let's make sure. And we're on inspect. I'm going to put on stack and mini. So when we're on things, we can see everything there. As you can see, we've got a 0, so there's no color in the circle. We've got a 1, and it's black. Black means it is in combat mode, and so that's what we want. This unit here. Now, I don't know. There's probably some way you could do next unit. Um, I mean, shoot, there is in every other war game in the world, right? But doesn't matter. We'll just eyeball it a little bit. We've got the command up here. Did we want to play any cards? Well, let's go over here to the officer. Just make sure we've got 8 here. So we did play that recon card. We'll get 2 next time. And so you can see we can't play any more cards here anyway. We already played one. But next time, we'll check that out. He'll be back up to 10. Maybe there was something speed or something like that. I don't know. The engineers here, and you can see we stop just short of this hill that starts to rise up to a level 1 and then a level 2. I'd like to get up on this hilltop, and luckily there's a little road there, and so we'll probably be bringing that infantry up the road. Combat mode, that's good. Combat mode, or well, it's 0, sorry, 0, 0, 1 in combat mode. Just making sure everything's been moved. And we really maxed out the 559th here. I mean, almost everything has 0. That's what you like to see. As we come over to 11th Panzer here, we've got a 1 in combat mode. That looks good. We've got these two guys, 0 and 1, 1 in combat. Okay, that looks great. Same here. That all looks fine. We've kind of got this cavalry unit that's sitting up on this little rise or elevation level 1. We've got him, almost surrounded here, and we're really pressuring this uh, armor unit here. They're almost certainly going to have to retreat a little bit. Maybe he'll come down this road and try to wreak some havoc, but I doubt it. I think, he would want to come down here. Now, we could look at this and say, hey, do we want to go trigger happy on the intercept fire? We don't know enough about the game to do that yet. I'm just going to keep it on normal, regular for now. As we get out here, we do have this anti-tank unit sitting here with an 8. It is in combat mode. We could move it around to this. I mean, where is first contact likely to happen? It's probably, here, maybe in Jubilees even. And so it is tempting to move that anti-tank up towards an armored unit. Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Look at me, an old grognard, figured that out. The problem is, I really don't want to leave that headquarters just completely naked. Now, in this game, unlike other games, I think it's modeled much better that, the headquarters actually does have some defensive ability. It's not like it's just sitting there ripe for the picking. It can fend off some things. And if you think about this armored unit, it would have to move across the fields here. Now, that's just fields. That's all that is. I think plains, they call it, and move into an urban area. What's the chances of him doing that? Even against a human player, probably pretty low because it would allow us to completely surround that unit. And even if he kind of got to the river, then he's behind enemy lines and completely surrounded. So I am tempted. Ay, 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 ay. Let's go to move. He can easily get there. I actually wonder if they would fire on us a little bit. We're gonna get now we have not been getting intercept fire from this cavalry unit, so I'm not worried about that. I think we can move beyond the cavalry unit, but I am worried about this guy taking out some anti-tank guns potentially. Let's look at the unit. What's our range? We need to look down here. We got the 75 millimeter packs, which are two. So if we were here, we could fire back. We've also got the third. Well, this is just flak. That doesn't do us a whole hell of a lot of good. And we've got some Nachtruppen. I'm going to do it. I'm going to move it. I think this is the unit that's likely to get that first contact. Okay, good. We didn't take any fire on that. That's why I love the intercept fire, man. It adds a whole different element to a game. And so we're going to put him right in there. So now we've got anti-tank along with the motorized. The anti-tank, you can see, is also on the tracked here. What do they call this? Tracked. Okay, so they're going to be moving at the same speed. So now we just have the anti-aircraft in the headquarters. Well, let's hope we don't get a counterattack. Again, I think even if we did, we could recover from it, move maybe one of these back around, maybe move the tank, the armor back around, kind of block him off. And if he goes this way, maybe that plays into our hands. We'll completely surround him. But I would imagine he's going to be dropping back. And this gives this motorized a little protection against the big tanks because I don't think they necessarily have a lot of range. Yeah, I mean, well, that's not going to have any range. We do have mortar in there. We also have 175 millimeter pack gun, just one though. We've got mortars that have got some range four times. We got the Panzer Shrek anti-tank. So we will now have, a decent amount of anti-tank in there. I think that's good. I would like to click on this and go to the hex and just hit on ranged and see if there's anything. Yeah, I'll see we could shoot. He's still got enough action points to actually shoot anti-tank at this guy, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I'm just going to kind of save that up a little bit. No reason to below our load. Sorry, but no reason to unload the gun. How about that? The first turn. This is just in the morning of the first day, so we'll just kind of sit around on that one. Ranged, again, that same anti-tank could come after him, but I don't think we need to do that. All of our guys down here, we've got the one headquarters here. He's kind of exposed as well. If this guy goes this way, he's going to find some of the brass. But I think we'll be okay. I wish I could move this guy one more and stack with him, but he's pretty well protected. They're behind the river here. He's going to have to go up a hilltop through the woods to grandmother's house. You go and across the river. So I think these guys are okay. He's within one, which is his range, and so he'll anti-aircraft above the command headquarters. As we get over here, we see a 0, but we do need to take that off of March mode. I'm not confident enough to leave him on March mode over here. Now, it doesn't look like there's any enemy any close, but they have air assaults. They also have artillery themselves. I think it would be, I don't see anywhere they could shoot it from because we have a rise here. And so anything on this side of the map wouldn't be able to, shoot it over the rise and hit over here. But with that being said, I'd rather take it off in case there's an air attack, something like that. There's no reason to leave that exposed. We've got 000. Perfect. That looks fine. We've moved them as far as we can, and we're looping around. Now the question came up, are you separating your forces a little bit too much? That was Lodric, devilish man. Um, Maybe. I don't know. I haven't played the scenario before. I'm doing what I think, German doctrine maybe would suggest, which is to go around instead of directly confront and look for an encirclement. I'm trying to. At least that's my idea here. I think we should be in pretty good shape. The the only worry I really have is down here in the south. He's got quite a few units here. I mean, 62, 21. We don't know what that is. Let's just assume it's a 62. He's got some armor back here. He's got another infantry. So, we're kind of evenly matched down here in the south a little bit. And so, if I did have a worry, it would probably be that. Now, one thing to keep in mind is we still have movement points down here. So we may as well fire our artillery, right? And here's a guy I'd like to hit. Let's see what we can do ranged here. Panzer, yeah, we'll see. He's going to fire back at us, right? Because this guy is in range, or within his range. Yeah, that's not good. 1 to 22 odds. We don't want to bring that into an attack. This would be 1 to 1. It's just mortar against what's probably tank fire. Do we know what's in this? Let's look at unit. No details available. We don't have enough detection on this to do it. If we look at the hex stats, recon 40, hide 24. Okay, we know he's here, but really to be getting more information, we need this to be a difference of 20 and more, right? And we'll get more and more information, but we don't know exactly what's in here now. Okay, so we've moved around here. Again, we're taking a little bit of a chance with the headquarters. I wouldn't do this, let's say, in a Grigsby game, right? But here we've got a little defensiveness. Now, you could say maybe we should bring something down here and protect that. And I'm not saying that's wrong. We could also move this tank unit back. Now, why would I do that? Well, I mean, that's kind of our risk, right? As he comes here and attacks our headquarters. I don't want to get intercept fire. I may get some here and lose armor, but I think the motorized is okay here. I really just wanted to get here. Now, I could try to get around him. I keep going back and forth. If I was being really aggressive, I would try to move into town, but for all we know, there's something here. If we look at the hex stats, we're not above 20. The recon is not 20 above the hide, and so I'm worried we'd get ambushed. So I think I am going to bring this armor back here. Okay, we get no intercept fire. That's just to protect against a breakout of some sort. I'm being a little cautious down here. I will stay up here on the rise. You can see we're up on a level 1 here, 0 there, 0 here. We're up on this rise, and then here's a level 2 rise where he's got his infantry stationed. And so okay, I mean, he's got the high ground on us there. He can shoot down into us. We may be better off. Could we back up if we wanted to? I don't necessarily want to. I'd probably actually go forward into the valley. I think I'll just leave it like that. I think that's okay. I mean, hell, I don't know. He may come out this way, but then we'll just try to cut off any supply he could get down there. We're covering the bridges here. We got this covered. We've got our headquarters here, and you can see. Well, we may want to. Well, we can't move him any further. We moved him as far as we could by truck over here. This guy is not in full command range. He's only at 75% in the yellow. He's more than 5 away. Within 5, it's 100% command. Over here, no. All right, what do we want to do with our artillery down here? Because we certainly still have some points left. I think I'd like to hit his artillery again if we can. And you can see we've got some units here. Wow, his artillery looks damn good. Yeah, we see you put certain units in, and what you're at risk of losing is greater than what he. That's right. We already looked at this. Shoot, I don't like that. I don't like that. Because once we open up our artillery, he's got a chance to do return fire on us. I don't like it. I mean, now he's going to bombard us during his turn, I'm sure, but let's not give him an extra chance to fire that arty. I think we're good down here. Okay, let's look at the commander one more time. Just make sure there's nothing left to play here. He could rally the troops. He could also scrounge together and organize a unit. We could This would up the morale of all subordinates, but that's okay. Why don't we hold on to that in case we start to take some losses? Up here, same idea. Supervise, visit a headquarters, and increase the defensive. We don't need that. Scrape together and visit the front. No, we don't need any of that either. Well, I'm not saying we don't need it. This visit the front would be helpful at any time, right? It's going to raise your morale, but why don't we wait and see if we lose anything and start to get morale losses when we do? Now, let's go up to the preferences, and I want to go to, no, units, map, general. Well, that's just where I was. I want to slow down the combat resolution. Auto combat, show AI moves. Well, that's all good. I want to see that. Um, well, I'm just going to have to do it myself. With the way his games operate, and I'll show you this here in a minute, you can slow it down, you can rewind every single move, and so I think that's how I'll do it. I'm going to scoot this back just a little bit so we get this big grand overview. I'll just kind of click out here so you can see the map, and I think we're ready to turn it. Let's do it. So let's hit there, and you can see the logistics start. And now we're going to pause and we're going to go back. All right, so you can always pause and stop this. There's 74 moves that are going to happen here. Go back. There we go. All right, and you can go back. You can either hit play here or go just watch any of the big stuff, any stuff. But you can use this as kind of a watching a movie, right? You can also, go back to the last move. So step 074, these are the AI moves, and let's see what his first move is. Unknown unit moves. Okay, and he moved again and he got out of our line of sight. Did you see that? So, originally he wasn't here at all. When he got up on this elevation, somebody saw him. Somebody saw him. And then he moved again and now we can't see him. So my guess is he probably maybe came around this way. I don't know where else we'd be blocked because if we could see him here, we should be able to see him. Yeah, this may be blocked a little bit. I don't know. It's hard to tell. You don't know where the line of sight's coming from. All right, but he goes invisible in step 2. Step 3, something shows up over here. Well, maybe that's him. Maybe he drove around or drove up and over and we couldn't see him while he was in the light woods. We don't really know what that is yet. All right, step 4. Step 5, we get an airstrike. All right, boy, that's hard to read. Oh, I guess I can just, there we go. 13 aircraft participating, 40 structural damage, 550 traffic point increase. Interesting. Okay, so this is more of like strategic bombing. He wasn't really, now we did take some losses here, but he also um, and I guess that's how the bombing works in this game. There's some structural damage maybe to the bridge. I guess that's what it would have to be. It's the only thing we can repair. So I guess that's to the bridge. And then traffic points increase across that bridge. Well, that's cool. Okay, excellent. Now, what did we lose? We lost 10 Panzer Grenadiers. Okay, so we lose some troops. We lost 4 of these 251s. Okay, and we lost 1 of the Opel Blitz. So, if we're looking at it from the Allies side or the American side, they played a card, right? They played an airstrike card. And we lose 10 men, some of those half tracks, the 251s. And now we get another. Oh, this is Air Supply, not the band, my friends. The love songs are playing on the Western Front. No, This is he's supplying his troops. So he plays another card. He's playing his cards up front. Well, this is interesting. We can kind of learn from this by what the AI does. Uh, oh, look at that. 654 flak points repelled 9 of the 14 aircraft. Awesome. Well, that's because we're sitting next to him, right? And we've got anti-aircraft in our units. We'll go look at that when it's our turn again. Air supply delivered 100 supply and 100 fuel. Okay, interesting. Unknown unit moves. You see him pop up here. We don't know what it is, but he's now moved, and now we can't see him. Love it. I love this line of sight. That's awesome. Oh, well, you know what he did? If we go back, he went boop. He went into town, which has more hide points. Then he popped up on the mountaintop. Well, I don't think it's a mountain, but it's a rise. It's an elevation. That is anti-aircraft. Okay, and now you see his mech unit just moved. So the 53rd Armored Infantry is moving down that road and retreating. Okay, so he saw the strength we came across this bridge on, and he's decided to get out of here a little bit. And down he goes. Wow, went a long ways. Oh, he's going to get out of Lezzie? Sure. Ah, look at this. He's coming down the road for us. All right, come on, buddy. Let's do it. Let's dance. No, he's going to come over here. So he comes down the road. There was no intercept fire. We just decided either the AI decided not to because it was on normal, maybe on trigger happy it would have if we had a weapon with that range of two because he got within two of us, but we didn't fire. That's a tank destroyer battalion. Good to know. Now we show it as a question mark, but we know what it is because it just told us. All right, he's moving. Looks like he's stacking up right on this road, trying to keep us, from jumping on this road and coming down it. And you see it. 60, oh, that's a different. 66th Armored Artillery Battalion. Okay, and now an unknown unit. Now that cavalry's getting the hell out of there. He was very much in danger of us surrounding him. So now he's moving down the road. Looks like he's really going to try to create a bottleneck here. Now, hopefully, we can get around behind him and keep forcing him back, right? We only need these two towns to win the scenario as a major victory, right? All other things being equal. Now, if we lose too many troops, we're going to lose points too. But just from a victory point perspective, we only need these two. So if he just keeps backing up, that's all right. Now, I don't know why he'd have the cavalry come out here. Doesn't seem wise. Here we go. All right. So as predicted, this mech or this armored unit, instead of moving into town, which seemed like kind of a dead end road, no pun, well, total pun intended, or moving out this way, he's like, we got to get back. We're starting to get a little surrounded here, and he doesn't even take a shot at us. He's just getting down the road. Was very concerned with getting, and I think the AI is smart to do that as a human player, I think that's exactly what you would do and set up here at Lezzie, where we've got to, cross a river here, go across a bridge. I mean, that's going to be a tough nut to crack unless we can get around it. And sure enough, he stops right in Lezzie. Good job, AI. I think that was the right move. Now we've got this mech unit on the move here. Let's see where that goes. Maybe he's going to put that up in Lezzie and say, yep, sure enough. Okay, I really like those moves by the AI. I think they were the proper moves. Get behind the rivers here and say, come and get me, right? We've got him, I don't want to say surrounded. I mean, we're not obviously down here yet, but we're starting to threaten envelopment anyway, and I think the AI is doing a good job playing against that. We got a question mark there. Okay, now we can't see him. 320th Infantry Regiment moves. Let's go back. Okay, so that was the 320th Infantry Regiment, and he's going to move over here and double stack. All right, and move down here towards the bridge. Okay, is he coming across? Unknown unit moves. Where was that? Oh, this guy over here on this ridge. Okay. Now we can't see him, so I assume he backed up. He's probably going to get on this road. 320th. Okay, he's backing out of here, double stacking there. So he's trying to really build strength at places. You've got that stacking limit of 200, but from what we've seen so far, you can put about 4, maybe even 5 of these counters in a hex and not hit that stacking limit. So he's moving this guy north. He sees the danger. The real danger to him is from the north right now. We probably don't have enough to do a full-on assault on Aracourt from the south. And so he's moving a little north. Okay, we've got some artillery fire now. And that's going to be hitting out here by the bridge. Defender axis 188 versus bridge. Oh, he fired directly on the bridge. The bridge has survived. So he's very concerned we're going to try to get across the bridge. I thought this guy was maybe moving offensively down here, but it looks like he just wanted to keep us from going across the bridge. Well, I'm trying to keep you from going across the bridge, so bomb it if you want. We took no losses there. You can see what we started with, what we lost. Okay. 320th Infantry Regiment on the move. And he's bringing a lot here. It looks like he maybe wants to try to cross here after all. Not sure why he would bomb that bridge if that, yeah, he's now double or triple stacked here. And he's going to try to force his way across. Now that causes us a big problem because this unit would get isolated if he knocks this unit out. So we're probably going to have to take this and kind of reform over here. And if he gets across the river here, fight him over here instead of having this unit potentially get, yep, there we go. Well, he hit us. Sure enough. Wow. Okay. Attacker was victorious at Henemanil. Okay. He's attacking. It says against the bridge, but it's not really against the bridge. He lost 10 GI veterans, 5 bazookas, 2 trucks, 1 60mm mortar. Okay. We lost 90 infantry. Wow. I mean, I feel like that's a pretty defensible position where we were. We lose 2 Opel Blitzes, 2 of the R75s, a Panzer Shrek, and these are the trucks, the Maltese. Wow. Okay. Got knocked on our keister there. 51 of 74 we're through here. Is he going to move across the river? I wonder if he's got enough movement points to get across the river or action. Gosh darn it, action points. I really hope he doesn't come here and he allows us to back out here because we're just kind of biding our time down here, wasting his time if we can. Now, is he going to try to force his way across this bridge? Now, I feel like a human player with that many action points would have jumped here, but maybe not because he gets a little isolated over here by himself if he can't move both of them across, or is it 2 or 3? Well, I don't know. We can't see that right now. Oh, there he goes. Okay, we'll see. That's what happens when you complain about the AI. It whips your butt. Okay, he's across there. Now we're going to have to deal with that because we now have a unit very much in danger of getting isolated over here. Great job by the AI, and that's what I really wanted to see. I think every move that he's made, I don't know, maybe it's a she, it's the AI, it's the men in the machine potentially. I think they made great moves so far. He's moving this mech back, moving the infantry over. He may try to exploit this a little bit. We'll see. Here he comes. We've got some water out here on the battlefield. Looks like swampy area, right here by the river. Oh, don't go into that road hex. Did he not have an? I hope he didn't have enough to jump there, because then we could potentially have 2 units isolated. Great job, AI. Engineers on the move here, looking to maybe get around and across they can cross the bridge there. We have nothing to stop that. And here he comes. Okay, 24th Armored Engineer Battalion moves. All right. We've got an unknown unit that's moved into this town here. Okay. Now we've got a mech unit that is threat. Yeah, he came to defend this town. We were so close. Now I'm not sure. Did that just move in there? Or did we just finally see it? I think it just moved in there. And we know from what that popped up, it's an engineer battalion because here we see the mech. It shouldn't show you that down there. If it's a question mark, unless we've identified it previously, we shouldn't know that that's an engineer battalion. 35th tank moves. Holy moly. He's moving out of town down this road that he's really going to try to exploit to the south, it looks like. Um, all right. Well, let's hope we've got enough movement points to get these guys out of here. Action points, I mean. But look at this big bad boy. Well, that's fine. I mean, this kind of plays into our hands a little bit. I don't know what he's got up in this area, but it almost seems like we're going to take him a little by surprise there. But that tank battalion's scary. Look at that, a 98 on the value. Now he's got this mech moving this way. Is he going to go into that little town? 35th Tank Battalion? Nah, he's moving back with this guy, maybe back towards Aracourt. He maybe is sensing the danger. I guess we'll see. And that's it. He moves Armored Artillery Battalion. And at the end of the first turn, good job by the AI. He pushes across this bridge and he's threatening an isolation here. Now, we should definitely be able to get this guy down the road. And maybe we bring these guys back across the bridge. I didn't want to have to do that, but we may have to. But this will be the unit we're really worried about because he's certainly in danger of being isolated. We've seen no resistance over here, but to be fair, we've got a level 3. I'm going to call that a mountaintop. I'll call level 2 hills, and I'll call this a ridge, level 1, 2, and it goes all the way to a 3. So they may all just be hidden back here, right? I mean, we couldn't see them. We could maybe with this guy see across this, the plains over here, but we're not picking up anything. Okay, cool. What is this got to play all the way out? Let's just fast forward that. We just saw all of that. Oh, I guess I can take it off here, right? Yeah. Nope, I don't want to exit the current game. I guess I got to let it play all the way out. There, okay, that's how it works. Logistics. Our logistics just took place. This is now turn 2. This is going to be midday, I think. Axis game is in progress. Please start turn. It's just during the day. So the turn 1 was the morning. This is like midday, right? Round 3 will be the afternoon, round 4 the night. So it's day, it's a little overcast, it's above 0. We like that because we're really kind of the attackers here. We're down to 78 victory points. We lost 2. Wait a minute. Axis casualties. Oh, that is 78 occupied on map. Axis casualties give the Axis -1 victory point. Oh no, we're down to 77. We need 100 for a major victory. And down here you can see our losses. How many, what is this, POW points? Or is it POW points? I don't know. 45, 25. You can see some things are worth more than others. Infantry's worth a half a point. Pioneers, half a point. Volks Grenadiers, a half a point. Panzer Grenadiers, half a point. Oh, I guess everything. Everything there was worth a half a point. I wonder if tanks are worth more. I would assume that they are, although this is a Stug gun. No, that's not true. It's in the 44th, but it was the Volksgrenadiers Grenadiers that got hit here. So we lost 40 of those, 20 of the Panzers, 90 infantry, 50 pioneers. So it was all men. Cards received this turn: air recon and a trucks column. Okay, when it says cards received, it means the big general cards that you get here. So he has completely pulled out of Jubilees. So we'll just take that, but with what? In which way do we want to go now? I think, these guys move in 2 columns here. These guys will move in 2 columns here. And we've got the roadways taken care of then, at least to the north. In the south, well, he can get to this unit, but this unit already got popped. This unit can get to the bridge. These guys could drop back potentially. Now, I hate to give them just kind of a run here, so we may have to even drop these guys back onto the roadway. I think it's really well modeled how important roads and bridges are here, far more than you see in some World War II games. And obviously, they were incredibly important in the actual war. If you've ever played anything up by Antwerp, um, okay, well, let's look at our cards first. What do we have? We've got a trucks column. We don't have any bridges to repair. Okay, so this would help us, go out and repair the bridge. Replacements. So we could get some replacements for those troops we lost. Fuel, do I don't know. We'll look at the supply situation when we get out here. Trucks column, well, we don't have to really worry that much about supply in this. We've got a big supply source back up in the northeast corner of the map. It's going to keep us in supply. New bridge, okay, good to know. And supply. We could get extra supply. Do we really care about any of this? Not really. Now I said, oh, this is rear area. Right. Okay. Supply drop, air recon. It's reduced. Why is it reduced? Due to weather conditions, probably only 25% of the aircraft will be able to join. We saw that it was overcast, hard to run air recon when you've got clouds. Um, when the battlefield is sitting overcast. Depots, we don't need that. So it's really going to probably be air recon is what we would play. I may save this. Now we're showing overcast is coming up for the next several turns. So we may just, I don't know, this may go a little to waste. We now did gain 10 political points, right? And the political points go to these cards. I don't think we need any of this. I'll hold. We could play the replacements card. Um, it'll send it to the highest headquarters in your order of battle. Okay, fine. Well, we don't. I don't think we need that yet, do we? All right, we'll take off those cards. And we'll go here. Just kind of look around a little bit. Again, we've seen no resistance here, but you know there is some. So we're going to get some intercept fire at some point as we move here. We'll jump up here on the ridge and we'll see. I mean, he may have a unit right here. We have no way of seeing him unless we were seeing him from all the way across the battlefield here. Um, these guys, they'll just keep moving down the roads. We'll move the headquarters up to make sure everything's in headquarters or in command range. These guys, they may, I was going to split one off, but really we've got a lot of firepower coming down this road. We'll take Jubilees, and then we'll have a lot of firepower coming here. We may even move the headquarters into Jubilees, but we'll probably start with this headquarters, put it there, keep this guy maybe back here, maybe move him a little forward. We'll see. We've got a whole nother column coming down here to help these guys, and I'll send them down this road. Although they would have to cross the river too. Really, the best way to come at this town, which is Leslie, right? He stacked a lot here. The best way to come at this, here is across river. Cross river is either going to be to come straight down this way or to cross across the river here with these guys and kind of encircle him a little bit. Maybe these guys, these guys, but that again, we're attacking across the river two different ways. I hate to do that. Probably the best way is to come from the rear and the side here, whether it be these guys, him, or up. Let's go look at our cards. So let's go look at this headquarters. We'll look at their commanding officer. It's Kurt von Muhlen. He now has 10. Again, we played the recon card last time, right? We don't need the defensive cards, hold or entrench. We're moving forward. What's care? Extra morale and readiness for a selected unit. All right, well, we're going to look at each unit and we'll see. I mean, do they have any morale or readiness problems? We're going to find out. And we maybe would play that. I don't know. I mean, he's got 10 command points, so we could play that. Recon, I don't know. I mean, I think we're going to have good recon for the most part. Like, let's get off that. Like, when we move the motorized here, if we can get over here and look down over this valley, and the same here and the same, here, if we can look over this valley, I think we should have, halfway decent recon. I don't really want to play that. Attack. I mean, I think maybe we save this before these guys get into a real scrap, and then we give them the attack card. Offensive bonus increase. His audacity is a 40, so he's best as a defensive general, right? This is his determination. The defensive cards are green, and so he's really more of a defensive, I guess, general, or at least that's what he's best at. But I don't think we're going to play any cards right now. Now we've got this already all the way back here, and if we only click on that, and we're in move mode, let's put it on inspect that. Let's put it on move so we can see what they can hit. You can see, I mean, this already back here can, get after some stuff a long ways away, because we do have the big 152 millimeters here. They're captured Russian guns. It's a Russian howitzers that we captured. They have a range of 12. So this is more, your big divisional type artillery that's more back to the back, but they can do some damage a long ways away. You can see we're going to want to be hitting soft targets with this howitzer gun. It's just better against soft targets. So we'll be looking for a soft target with that gun. We could move it up, but I don't think this turn. I think we wait until he drops back a little bit because we want to start hitting some stuff, knocking some stuff around a little bit. We have pretty good visibility on this, so why don't we start with our arty? And this is the big divisional arty we've got back in the back. Sure. Let's take a shot at him. See what we've got here. 464. Now I said we want to look for infantry type units. Well, most of everything he's got over here is armored somehow. Do we know what this is? No, no, unknown unit. I'm sure it told us, but I'm not going to go all the way back through watching the last. It shouldn't really do that, and I don't want to cheat in that way. If it's got a question mark, we shouldn't know the designation of the unit. I'm actually going to let just talk to the developer about that a little bit because I don't think if you don't know what this is or question mark, I like that. I love the fog of war, but it told us during that rewind of the action or during the Allies' turn, it told us what these units were, and I don't really think it should do that. Okay, um, done 16. Well, nobody can hit us back there, so no return fire expected. He's not going to have long range artillery out here. That just doesn't make a lot of sense. Uh, I put it on the wrong unit, but that's okay. We knocked out an M3. I'll take it. I'll take it. 8 retreat. Oh, this is us. 122 millimeter gun, 152 millimeter gun. Okay. We lose nothing, obviously, unless there would have been a backfire that blew up some men or something. We knock out a truck and we knock out an M3. This is that M3 that's got a 50 caliber machine gun on it, I believe. This time with him, okay, that's it. He can't fire again. Well, shoot, I wanted to hit that cavalry, but that's not a big deal. Um, we also have what we'll call the more regimental artillery here. He's in position. He can certainly hit this. Let's just click on this and see everything that can hit this, right? Let's go to Hex, ranged. You can see all of the units we have here. We got a lot of them that could hit him. Let's take our 2 regimental artillery. He can't really fire back at us. We're a little too far back. Okay, let's fire both of these guys at him and see what kind of damage we could do to that cavalry. We also have another arty. Let's go see what that is. It's this big artillery here. Boom. Could hit this way. Is that what we want to hit, or do we want to start hitting now? I know these are armored units. What is this unit? What do we have in here? Got the 105 millimeter. That is better against soft targets. He 122 millimeter. So this is the big divisional arty. They're all generally going to be better against soft targets, right? Um, because it's the big howitzers and whatnot. It's the anti-tank guns that are going to be better against hard targets. Well. Tell you what, let's go to Hex here. Let's go ranged attack, and let's just bring in the two regimental arties to hit that cavalry unit and see what happens. All right, so we hit him. Oh, yeah. I mean, look at this. We've knocked his readiness down to a 7. Man, I like to see that. His morale is now under 50. Entrenchment is way down. So if we look at this, we didn't lose anything. We fired off our 75 millimeter mortars, 120 millimeter mortars. He lost 20 veterans, 2 trucks, a Greyhound, 2 M375 howitzers, and a Jeep. Excellent return for us there with just the Reg Arty. Now let's go here and let's do ranged. All right. And really, oh gosh, I did this again. Well, let's look at the map. Um, what could participate here? Well, it's going to be in white. So we have the big artillery here. We have this artillery here. It's showing us could participate, and we've got the mortars that are in these units. But I just want to do the big artillery, the divisional artillery back here. I think to start with anyway. So let's take this. That's him, I believe. No, it's not. See, got to make sure. Got to make sure. Um, right? Hold on. Sorry. It's this guy that we want to use. Well, let's just do it manually like this. Hit that. Okay, now he's down there. Got it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I was the right unit. We're just going to hit into Lezzy because he's now stacked up here a bit. I want to start hitting him with some artillery and see what happens. Well, we took out an M475. Nice. All right. So we do take out a tank there. Uh, Excellent. We didn't lose anything. We fired the 105, the 122s, and the 152s, and we do destroy a tank. We take his, we take his readiness down a little bit, a little bit. He lost some experience, so this tank crew must have been experienced. That all looks good. Okay, excellent. We may hit him with some more artillery, but we're not there yet. In the south, we don't really have any artillery because these are Panzer brigades, and they don't really they're not going to really bring artillery with them like an infantry regiment would. I mean, we do have the Panzerjägers, which are anti-tank. They do also have mortars, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the big divisional artillery. I think you're always best firing that first, uh, to soften up into anything that you may run into. But I think we're ready to move. And let's look at the command radius. How far does it get out here? Well, it gets out here a ways. We are going to have to move him at some point, but I don't think we're there yet. We do have this artillery here. I'm going to leave him one step behind. Now, as this infantry moves out here, they would take the intercept fire. Then we'll bring the art because I would like the artillery. Well, hell, I'd like the artillery up here. The this regimental artillery I would like up here looking down into this valley, but can we get it there? We'll see. Let's take the infantry first. Is there anything else I want to do? I don't think there are any cards I wanted to play, at least in the north. There was nothing I wanted to play. So let's step him forward and see what we're stepping into. We don't have really, there's no way of knowing what's up here on this ridge. Well, we find nothing. I'm going to scoot this back a little bit so we can see the whole map a little better. So we find nothing there. Now, we'll see if that continues because we need to get into this fork in the road and, start looking down here into this valley. Now, there is a little rise over here. Obviously, this is going to block his view, but we could get little visibility down in here. So let's move forward, and we do take some fire. Okay, what fired at us? An 81 millimeter mortar, Panzer Shrek. Okay. Interesting. It's showing us as the attacker. Well, I guess we're moving. Okay, that makes sense. Well, we didn't lose any 81 millimeter mortars or Panzer Shreks. We did lose 30 Volksgrenadiers and 20 of the K-98 Volksgrenadiers. Okay, so we lost 50 men there, and we see why now. This unit was completely uncovered, so we were walking into an ambush. Damn it! Um, Okay, well, good to know. I mean, there was no other way of us knowing that unless we would have flown, we had planes and would have flown some kind of recon, but we do lose 50 men in that ambush. Can we hit this with our Reg artillery? I think we can. Looks like we can. Sure can. Well, that's who we're going to want to hit. So let's fire. Let's fire on this guy. All right, and kind of knock him down a little bit. We don't lose anything, of course. So when it's your turn, I guess you're always considered the attacker, even when he did intercept fire. That's why I was confused in that previous one. This one, we actually were the attacker. Oh, this is an engineer group. You can see bazooka, he lost none. No trucks, 10 engineers, no jeeps or whatnot. He's got a really high readiness, it appears, and pretty good morale. We actually lost some readiness, but no surprise there. We fired uh, the guns here. So, okay, well, we've now fired that. If we zoom in here, we can go no further. I probably should have checked just to make sure these were in command range. You can see we lost 50 men, but our totals didn't go down, a massive amount. Now, what can we do about this? Well, let's look at this one more time. You can see the command range of this guy is not enough to get into this hex. So I think we are going to have to jump the river, and it wants us to go all the way around. We shouldn't be taking any fire from here or any intercept fire unless he's got long range artillery. So let's bring the headquarters around here. And as you can see, that extends out his command radius because we're going to take this unit and start to move here. I'm not sure if we're going to do an assault or not, but I'm sure thinking about it. Um, we may take some intercept fire here. Now we could keep moving out here, but I think we could move these guys down the road to there, and we can take this engineer unit and move it around maybe up here. So I'm going to, try to squeeze this guy. Okay, he had no intercept fire left. Now I don't think there's any limit other than, are they ready to do it and whatnot. I think they could probably intercept fire twice. I should actually look that up. I was going to move here either way, so I guess in some respects it doesn't matter. For my purposes here. Now, if we were going to attack here, what kind of odds do we get if we do both of these guys? Well, it's 2-1. At least that's what it's telling us. Now, we just don't know. I mean, this is not always perfect information, right? So let's get off that. We may move the headquarters up a little bit more, or we may just leave him here across the river. Van down by the river. Engineers. Well, let's get these guys up on the ridge. I'm not sure I'm super excited about this after we got ambushed over here. Good job by the AI. I love when the AI does some ambushes. Um, Well, screw it. We got to move up here at some point. Is he in command range? Yeah, he's easily in command range. Okay, we get nothing. I like that. Now, if I click on this unit, is he able to? Yeah, he's easily able to get up here and a little further. This infantry part, we've already fired the artillery, which means we will have to leave some infantry back here just to protect the artillery. They can no longer move this turn. Um, but I'm going to start moving these guys out. The 1126th. And we're going to try to go out and around because I'm going to bring these guys up this road to deal with this right here. So let's go here. Okay, no problem there. Let's keep on rocking. Yay! Well, I should have stopped and talked about that for a minute. We lose 20 pioneers here. Okay, why did that happen? Well, we're not sure. Oh, we got some artillery intercept fire. We went up in elevation to a height 2. That's awesome. That's how a game should work. We were on a level 1, but we were back. If you can see this ridge here, here's one hex of it, here's a second hex of it. While we were back here, the Americans couldn't really see us, right? We had stepped up here, and unless he had somebody up here or also on this plateau, he couldn't see us. But the minute we went up to an elevation 2, we got above the flat, right? And he hit us with artillery. That's awesome with intercept fire. Gosh darn it, I like stuff like that. That is well done. Um, okay, well, we're up on the level 2, but that should start to give us a lot more information as well about what we're dealing with. And I think I want to keep him moving this way on this level 2. Let's see if he gets hit again. No. Now then, he's at the highest vantage point that we could be on this side of the map. He's looking down into the valley. We now see a unit over here, and we can get a good sense of what's going on. Now, this unit, we assume we won't get any intercept fire in this X anyway. Let's move him forward onto this where the road splits. Excuse me. Okay, that looks good. So we still have movement points here. We may still do an attack here. I'm going to move this guy forward one more to take a look around at the Valley of Aracourt. We're probably going to get hit here, but let's see. Let's see what happens. Yep, there it was. We only lose 10 of the K98 Volksgrenadiers. 10 of them. Okay, we'll take that. That's not horrible. Um, what does he have here? We don't know what we even got hit with. Oh, this is an armor, part of an armor regiment. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We've got infantry here. We've got the high ground. I love being in this hex. This hex, we're on the same level with this guy. We actually really could move here, and now we're from a level 2 down to him here. Is this 1? Okay, he is on the plateau right there. Okay, we've got more units to move, but I think I'm going to call this an episode. I don't want them to get too long, but I'm trying to play a lot more, explaining while we go, but playing a lot more because now you should really be starting to get the hang of this system, how it works, and what's going on. So anyway, man, I hope you're enjoying this. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. That's for sure. I want to keep playing. I'm probably going to record the next episode right now because I don't want to stop. But short attention spans. I don't want people to be here. What are we on? 52 minutes? Yeah, or 57. Okay. Strategy Gaming Dojo. Hope you had a good time. I did. I'll talk to you next time.